Welcome, everybody, to Brockton High Football, and a happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there this morning. This is Miles Jackson with Brian Madden and Peter Colombo. Excuse me, Peter Zimbour.
I don't think I'm Peter Colombo.
Peter Zimbour bringing you the best in high school football. It's your Super Bowl champion Brockton Boxers coming in here at 10-0, looking to go for an undefeated season, 11-0 up against 7-3, the Waltham Hawk high school team. And Brian, it's going to be a tough game. It doesn't matter. You can throw out all the stats in the stands and everything because it's an up-and-up game. Anybody can win this thing.
Yeah, that's true because Waltham always comes in here ready to play. No matter how their season is going, they get really juiced because this is the rivalry. This is like, the old Celtics, Lakers. It's just a rivalry that's uncontested. And I'm looking for Waltham to come in here. They have a number of returning starters and returning lettermen. Their strengths are offensive and defensive line. And they're inexperienced at the skilled positions, such as, wide receiver and I won't say it running back because they got this kid, Chickalau, who has just been running wild.
And now that we get my little identity crisis out of the way, I'll give my views on the game. I think that this game is a matter of pride for the Brockton Boxers. Do they need to win this game to get into the playoffs? Absolutely not, but it's a matter of pride. It's Thanksgiving Day. It's a rivalry, and they sure as hell don't want a loss in their record. I fully expect Brockton to come in with a win today.
I expect that as well.
And Peter, Brockton coming off a big win against New Bedford, 19-0. That defense really looked good that day.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, Brockton has just... They've had some setbacks throughout the season, as we've mentioned. They've jumped off sides a few times a game and whatnot, but they always manage to come away with a win, and they... most of the time blow away their opponents.
Yeah. They've had outstanding runs in, numerous quarters where the opposition has scored no points. So the defense has really stood pat all year long. They've had that bend, not break mentality. Some teams have been in the game maybe for the first half or so, and then they're a second-half team. They just would run away with it.
And there has been 2 overtime games thus far this season where they've snuck by and they've got out. There's been some close ones. I don't expect today to be one of them, though. I think Brockton should run over this Waltham team.
Yeah, I think they will as well.
Brockton's defense last week, again, a shutout. They held New Bedford Whalers to 108 yards of total offense, just 51 passing and 57 passing and 51 rushing.
Yes. And Waltham had an exciting game against Cambridge. And Waltham, they scored 42 points to Cambridge 19.
And as I mentioned, today is a game of pride for the Brockton Boxers with it being Thanksgiving Day, the rivalry and all. They also honored former head coach Armand Colombo earlier this morning by dedicating Armand C. Colombo Field here at Marciano Stadium. There you see a bit of the ceremony earlier. That's Larry Siskind from the Brockton Historical Society, and they unveiled the sign, and it was that's another reason why the Brockton Boxers want to bring their A game today.
And it's a beautiful...
it's a lovely sign.
Lovely sign as they get ready to unveil it.
Yeah, not only did they put the Armand C. Colombo Field underneath, but they also touched up the Rocky Marciano Stadium sign as well, and making it look very spiffy here in Brockton, Massachusetts.
There you see the sign. Armand C. Colombo Field, City of Champions.
And it's even more beautiful in person.
Yes.
It's a gorgeous stadium sign. And, of course, a gorgeous stadium, probably one of the best-looking stadiums in East Coast of America.
It's so nice that they're going to hold the Super Bowl here for Division I high school football. And
I believe
that they actually changed the rule that if Brockton gets in, the game might be held here. That's what I've heard. That's the rumor mill.
And we kick off this Thanksgiving football game with a beautiful kick by Paul Branco. Waltham takes it at about the 10, and he is knocked down quickly by number 30.
Morrissey.
John Morrissey with the tackle. So Waltham Hawks coming in here again at 7-3. They have the football on the first offensive possession.
And we should give the Waltham Hawks some credit. They come in here with a 6-3 record. Very respectable. And this game is being shown on Waltham television as well. So we'd like to wish them a happy Thanksgiving, along with everyone in the city of Brockton.
Now, you have a figure different than what I got online. You got having it 7-3?
Yeah, I have them at 7-3. What do you have them as?
6-3.
6-3. Okay, we'll try to get that corrected.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
As long as we know Brockton's 10-0. looking for an undefeated, first time ever, 11-0 season, if they can win today.
I apologize. We forget that Waltham is getting a copy of this tape.
I'll give them the extra win, 7-3.
7-3.
They probably played 10 games this season thus far. I'll go 7-3.
Yeah, I would think so. 7-3.
Quarterbacking for Waltham High is Don Hopkins, 6 foot, 160 pounds. And we do have a correction. Waltham is at 6-3. They've only played 9 games this season, as Brockton has played 10.
Well, so much for me giving them the benefit of the doubt with that extra win.
But right now, score is 0-0, so it really doesn't matter.
Second down, and let's call it a long 7 yards to go for the Hawks. There you see they're in the I formation. They're in their white jersey and red pants, and they hand it off tackle to number 5, and he's taken down quickly by Jason Marginson.
And good defense, good defensive stop there by Jason. Right in on the play quickly. And Jason's had a very good year this year. He's really stepped up his play.
Field conditions today is slippery. It is raining lightly out here on the field. Typical football weather in November. Brockton in their black jerseys and red pants. It's third down, and let's call it 5 for the Hawks of Waltham. Quarterback rolls out to his right, looks,
Flag down.
and there's a,
Incomplete.
Mike Peter
Yeah,
said, a
looked
flag
like-
down on the play, and that
looked
ball
like
was out
holding.
of his reach by the wide receiver out there, number 19, Patrick Hogan.
Yeah, appeared to be holding on the right side
Flag is on
of the offensive line. Let's look and see what the Whitecap has to say.
Brockton didn't start playing the 11-game season until about 10 years ago. It was usually 9 or 10 games, but they've increased it to 11 games for the season. Makes for a long season against nothing but top teams here in
Here's-
Massachusetts.
Here's the replay. There was an illegal shift, actually. And you see him roll out and just throw it a little high out of the receiver's reach.
And we're back to live action. It's going to be a punting situation. Waltham gets back its punt and mishandled by Nate Dellen, but he picks it up at around the 31. Heads straight back upfield and taken down finally at just shy of the 40.
Nate Dellen with the carry.
And, yeah, the ball's a little slippery. Nate Thelen wasn't able to catch that cleanly. He had to run to his right to try and catch it in the air, and he just wasn't able to get it cleanly. But smartly, what he did was when he picked it up, he turned and he ran north to south. I mean, south to north. Went straight back upfield. Didn't try and get tricky. Didn't try and run end around and all like that. I mean, just pick up as many get as many yards back as they lost.
Okay, here comes the Brockton offense. Jesse Resende at quarterback. Looks like you have Penn and McNeil in the backfield. And Resende's going to start off by passing. He rolls out, feels the pressure, and fires incomplete
Pass is incomplete.
to Nate Dellen. If he would have caught that, it only would have been about a 1-yard reception.
Yeah, exactly. He had, wasn't really going to gain a whole lot had he made that reception. So, and Jesse had pressure, as you're going to see right here on the replay.
Yeah, number 86, Brian Hanley, was coming right up from behind him. I don't know if Resende could see him,
Yeah.
but
So-
he must have felt his presence because he
Yeah.
get that ball away quickly.
Yeah, and also he threw the ball where only
Dellen.
Thelen would have caught that.
2nd and 10 for the Boxers. I formation in the backfield. And they hand it off to McNeil. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
McNeil with the carry. No gain on the play.
Brockton has made the playoffs the last 4
Third
years.
down and 10 at the
Of course, last year they won the Super Bowl title.
And that was an outstanding game.
Brockton ending their season at 10-2. Actually, their only defeats last year, Peter, was Waltham and Zavarian.
That's right.
And one thing about this Thanksgiving game is that by the end of today's game, I fully expect for Brockton to be playing a lot of second-string players because last game of the season, they generally move some players up from JV and the freshman team to get some playing time at the varsity level.
Well, while there's an lull in the action, I just want to talk about changes that are going to be being made next season. Marshfield has dropped Brockton from their schedule, and so we will no longer be playing Marshfield, and Pinkerton is going to move up to the Marshfield slot, which is in October, and we will be now playing Taunton, who will take the Pinkerton slot in November. So, you know, there's going to be some changes next season. Marshfield has decided to move to a different area.
Quarterback drops back. Rescindi's going to run with it. He's got some open space. And he's taken down. Nice tackle by number 86 for Waltham. Because Rescindi had a lot of room there on the right-hand side if he could have got past that defender.
And that was Brian Hanley again. And here you're going to see the replay. You see Jesse receiving pressure. And he just turns it upfield and runs to the right. And there you see just through the people, Hanley just grabbing him on his thigh and knocking him down.
Punting situation for the Boxers. And Rescindi gets off a low short punt. Takes a Waltham bounce. And the ball's loose. It's live. It's live. And they're going to call it. It looked like it touched a Waltham.
I believe it touched a Brockton player.
Definitely touched a Brockton player, but I think Brockton thought it touched a Waltham player also.
Well, we should get that replay. We'll see.
The crowd here certainly thought.
And the referees
it was a live ball.
Are in a little huddle to discuss the call, which is a good sign that they all get together and make sure they get this right.
Yeah, and of course everybody on this end of the field is biased.
Of course.
Including myself. But let's see.
But then again, if it was touched by a Brockton player first, then it's down. So I'm sure that's the question. Was it touched by? And it wasn't. It's going to be Brockton's ball.
They've overturned the call.
So a nice play calling by the referee. Here it is,
And
Brian.
here's the replay. And you see that down in the truck, they waited.
And right there.
Yeah, it hit that Waltham player right there, number 5.
If it would have touched the Brockton player first, it would have been down right there. But great call by the referees and great camera work by our camera crew there.
And they decided to wait until the referees made their decision before they showed the replay.
And great decision by our technical staff down there in the truck. So 1st and 10 for the Boxers. They're in Waltham territory. Ball is placed at about the 37-yard line of Waltham. Still no score. 6:23 on the clock here in the first quarter. And it'll be a pitch out there to McNeil. And he gets a nice little gain there.
Yeah, nice run by McNeil. Nice option play. McNeil was able to see a little bit of space.
So that'll make it 2nd down, 6 yards to go for first. This is Brockton Community Access. I'm Miles Jackson with Brian Madden and Peter Zembor. Bring you all the colorful action here on Thanksgiving morning. And they give it straight ahead to Penn, but he's caught right at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to go nowhere, which will bring up a 3rd down situation.
Yeah, Bo Hickey in on the tackle. Wrapped Penn up from behind and just would not allow any forward momentum. And here you see the replay. Bo Hickey catches him from behind and just holds on for dear life and pulls him backwards. Nice defensive stop there by Waltham.
So 2nd down, about 7 yards to go for the Boxers. They're in the I formation. And the ball is mishandled on the snap.
Jesse got it back.
So that'll bring up 4th down.
And when we came in this morning, it was snowing. That snow turned into a little bit of a drizzle. It's now calmed down a little bit, but the slipperiness of the field and the ball has not changed.
Yes, indeed.
I think I invented a word there, slipperiness. I don't think anyone has ever used that in the history of time.
Oh, I think somebody's probably used that before.
Well, I don't think it's correct nonetheless.
It's not correct. I will give you that. but people have butchered a lot of words, and you know,
Miles called me Colombo at the beginning of the game, so.
Yeah, we're all famous for butchering names. Unless your name is Smith or Jones, you know, all bets are off.
Brockton's going for it. Resende drops back in the pocket, but he's pressured right away, gets it off. He's got a man down there, but just overthrown. So Brockton will give up the football in Waltham's territory, and Waltham has to feel good on that possession, the defense, for holding the mighty offense of Brockton.
Yeah, Nate Thelen was kind of lingering around waiting for a pass rather than moving forward. I don't know exactly what the plan there was, but if he was about 5 feet ahead, he could have caught that pass.
You know, that's a good point, Peter. If you, like you said, he was lingering around. If he would just kept going straight up the field, he might have had a chance for that.
Granted, I'm not going to criticize him because I don't know what the play call was.
Exactly.
But I think maybe Nate's thought process was that, you know, it's slippery conditions, it's wet. He didn't know if Jesse would be able to get a good grip on the ball and be able to get, you know, as much airspace as he was able to.
1st and 10 for the Hawks. And they take it around the left-hand side and get a nice gain close to the first down.
And that run was by Chirklow, Kendrick Chirklow, running back, 5'8", 155 pounds. And here you're going to see the replay. Hands off to, runs around to the left. Is able to pick up a first down. And last week he ran for 3 touchdowns.
So he's definitely a threat.
He's definitely a threat.
Kent Kachurkro. And they give it straight ahead to the fullback, and he's still on his feet. Makes a nice break there on a tackle and gets about an 8-yard gain on that particular carry.
And that's Nick Taylor.
5'11", 180 pounds.
And Nick Taylor also got ran for a touchdown and had a touchdown reception. 40-yard pass from Hogan. So
Waltham has a couple of go-to guys.
Yes, they do.
So 2nd down, and let's call it 3. And they give it straight ahead to the fullback, Taylor again. And he's still going into Brockton territory.
And that was an outstanding run by Taylor. I mean, he just kept his legs going and had some help. His offensive line, you see his offensive line walking back to the huddle, but they were right there in front of him. Continue to push Brockton back. You're going to see it right here. You see the line just moving players, allowing Taylor to just pick up another first down.
Waltham in Brockton territory with 3 minutes left on the clock here in the first period on Thanksgiving Day. And Hopkins hands it off to number 5 again.
Whoa.
And a youngster on the sidelines gets knocked over. Hopefully he's okay.
That's the T-boy. He's the one that goes and puts the tee out there for the kickoff.
And he got a little taste of what it feels like to be out there in the ball field.
Well, no, not Steve Roy this year. Our cameraman Steve Roy got decked the past few years in a row, but he appears to be okay.
It's a 2nd down and about 3 yards to go. Let's call it 4 yards to go. Ball is placed on the 35-yard line of Brockton. Waltham's got one wide out to the top of your screen. And looks like a broken play. And Hopkins getting pressured by number 38. He finally goes down and he throws it out of bounds. But there's going to be a flag on the play for
grounding.
Grounding, yes. It's great pursuit by number 38 of Brockton.
Yeah, Michael Murray was right on him.
Michael shows some great speed.
There you see Michael just take him down and
so great defensive pursuit by the Boxers brings up 2nd down and about 3 yards to go.
And I see our new mayor. He'll be coming into the office as of January 1st. in the stands.
And Jim Harrington, mayor-elect, was present earlier at the unveiling of the new Armand Colombo field sign, as well as numerous other locals that are well known. It's going to be a third and very long situation coming up for Waltham. I'm going to call 3rd and 20.
Third down is 21 yards.
So big third down situation for the Waltham Hawks. They've got a long way to go. Brockton's got a 4-man rush. And Hopkins drops back in the pocket, feels the pressure, gets away somehow, and he's finally taken out of bounds. But incomplete. He just got it away before he went out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation.
An excellent defense. Brockton has really stiffened up, pushing the quarterback back.
Boxers hold again, and they'll get a chance to get the ball back with 2:24 on the clock. Here in the first quarter, still no score. Back is Nate Dellin and Corey Brown.
Nice
Two
kick.
exciting players for the Brockton Boxers, and it's going to come to Dellin, and he lets it go. And it's going to be down at about the 16-yard line of Brockton.
Yeah, and Brockton got a fortunate bounce on that ball. I mean, it just sort of died pretty much where it landed. You know, and they're fortunate that it didn't propel itself closer towards the goal line. So they have a little bit of room to work with.
So it brings up 1st and 10 for the Boxers. Excuse me, Brian.
Yeah, starting at the 16-yard line.
2:12 on the clock here in the first quarter. Brockton has 2 wideouts to the left of your screen. I formation in the backfield. Resende hands it off to McNeil, and he's met at the line of scrimmage again. And the Brockton offensive line hasn't warmed up yet because they really haven't opened up any holes for this for these Brockton running backs.
No, they have not.
And Waltham moving the ball very efficiently on this drive. And this is well, they're not the ball right now, but they have been moving the ball very efficiently throughout the game, aside from that last drive when penalty set them back about 20 yards. And this is a game where teams want to look good because aside from stations such as us, Brockton Community Access, and the Comcast Network, which covers high school games throughout the season, this is Thanksgiving morning. All the big Boston outlets are going to be covering high school football in their sports report tonight.
Yes, they will.
Exactly, Brian and Peter. And what it's come to now, they'll have a half-hour special on just on high school football this evening on many of the local channels. So everybody look at the highlights this evening.
Well, aside from the 2 NFL games today in high school football, what else is there?
Exactly.
There you see the replay, and just nowhere to go.
Third down and 8 yards.
So it brings up 3rd and 8 for the Boxers.
Actually, come to think of it, there might be an NBA game or two today as well.
Brockton deep in their own territory. And Resende rolls out to his right. Looks, fires downfield, has a man open, and he catches.
Nice
oh,
catch.
he dropped it.
Oh,
He
man.
made the nice adjustment to turn around, but for some reason the ball slipped out of his fingertips.
Yeah, Corey wasn't able to bring it in.
Brockton will be first to
And I'm
ball.
sure he would like that one back. It was a great adjustment by him to
Yeah.
turn his body, but unfortunately, he couldn't hold on to it. Nice throw by Resende. And there you get a picture of I'm sure, a frustrated Corey Brown, as he knows he should have had it.
And Coach Colombo giving him a few words of, we'll call it encouragement.
Sure, encouragement. And there's an offsides there by Waltham, but so I'm sure Brockton will,
Want that kick again.
yes,
Yeah.
give it 5 yards. It won't give him a first down, but it will give him the opportunity to make a better punt.
Waltham. Field time.
So you heard the head referee.
And then you're going to see Jesse hasn't gotten a good kick yet. There you see the offsides by number 20. And his kicks are kind of going straight up in the air. He'd like to get a clean one now where we are deep in Brockton territory.
Brockton will re-kick the football.
Slow snap. Ball is mishandled. Resende picks it up. Looks, running for his life. Gets away. He's got an opening. Gets a key block by Marginson. Still going. First down, Brockton.
No flags.
And what a great block by John Marginson. Jason Marginson.
And no flags on the play.
To release Resende to get that first down.
And what a big momentum builder for Brockton.
Yes, yes, and you know, when you look at the athleticism of Jesse Resende and the poise that he showed, you know, the ball rolls back almost to the end zone. You're going to see it right here. That's the actually that's the
first punt.
First one. That's the wrong one.
And you could see the player jump on that play on the left-hand side of the screen, which forced them to punt over, which ultimately came to that first down, which we'll see here momentarily.
Timeout Waltham, and here we should see the correct replay now. Okay, maybe not.
But again, I just want to.
Okay.
Again, just reiterating, great blocking, and Jason Marginson just made a beautiful block to get Jesse Resende past that first down marker, and he went about another 10 or 15 yards after that.
Yes, he did, and it was just outstanding. Like I said, poise of Jesse Resende to not only pick up the ball and try and make something happen. Here you're going to see the replay here, and the ball is low, skips through his hands. He just takes his time, picks it up, tries to run around, sees that he has nowhere to go that way, turns it back the other way, and there you see the Marginson block right there, outstanding. And Jesse, like you said, picked up an additional 10 yards.
Another outstanding block by James Brown. Just after Jason Marginson's block, James Brown made another beautiful block to release Jesse Resende up the field.
And there you see Jesse Resende, number 10, listening to Coach Peter Colombo.
And again, a lot of poise, like you said, Brian, for Jesse. He was down at the 2-yard line, 1-yard line.
Yes.
And he made a nice cut, just stopped and cut back the other way. And it's a wet field out there, as Peter said. Just this great poise by our senior quarterback, Jesse Resende.
And he's always a threat to go all the way. He is still the leading rusher for the Brockton Boxers.
And there's a great shot of our Brockton High School fans in full force out here on this rainy day. 1st and 10 for the Boxers. Ball is at about the 38-yard line, and Resende keeps it again, but this time he goes nowhere, maybe a yard gain.
And speaking of his leading, Jesse has 10 touchdowns, 1 2-point conversion for a total of 62 points, and he has 8 touchdown passes.
So he has more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns?
Yes.
He's just an all-around athlete.
He is an all-around athlete.
He's a Michael Vick type player at the high school level.
Actually, no, he has total 10. 8 passing, so 2 rushing.
First quarter has ended, so the teams will reverse fields. Still a 0-0 score, and Waltham High has to be happy at the moment to keep this high, potent Brockton offense off the scoreboard.
Yes, definitely. And while we have a moment, I just want to congratulate, or we want to congratulate, the Brockton All-State All-State Championship in cross country. You know, they ran to the MIAA Division I crown at Franklin Park on Saturday. So, outstanding run for Brockton. Let's see, they were 58 point. They had, top 45 and route to 58-point finish, 25 points better than the runner-up Brookline.
So congratulations to the cross-country team of Brockton High. Again. And there's a great shot of our band, one of the best bands here on the east coast of the United States, Brockton High Marching Band. One lone man in the backfield, that's Penn, with Nate Dellin on the reverse, and they pitch it out there to Nate Dellin. And Waltham defense swarmed all over that play.
Loss on the play.
Yeah, in 86, let's see, who's that? Brian Hanley in on the tackle. Brian's been busy defensively, doing an outstanding job so
Loss
far.
of about 3 yards in the play.
On that particular play, Nate Thelen was in motion as he reversed his motion just as the ball was snapped, and they kind of pitched it out to him. But the Waltham defense read that very well. And it was a 2-yard loss, so it makes it 3rd down and 12 to go for the Boxers. There's a great camera shot of one of our cameramen way up high.
I want to say that's Mike Tremblay. I couldn't quite see him from behind the camera, but I think it's Mike Tremblay up on top of the press box, braving it out in the cold. Not just cold, but cold and wet, and that's just not a combination a lot of people like to be out in the elements with.
But I will say one thing. Brockton has an outstanding showing here.
Yeah, great
And
fan base of Brockton.
There you see a shot of the fans and the band. And, you know, they have an outstanding fan base that came out here on Thanksgiving morning. They always do. And Waltham has a nice contingency as well. I mean, they have a couple hundred fans over there in the stands. And, you know, that's fantastic.
Actually, that's the most fans we've seen here at Rocky Marciano Stadium as far as visitors go, representing their team is Waltham Hawks.
Yes, because there's some gaps over there, but they pretty much close to having that the stands filled up over there.
3rd and 12 for the Boxers. You've got 3 wideouts there to the bottom right of your screen. And Resende rolls out to that side, looks, wants to throw it, has a man open, and this time he catches it. Corey, but the ball
he was down.
No, they're gonna. It looked like he was down, but the referee's gonna call the ball loose.
He was down.
And they're gonna give it to Waltham. Yeah, that was a very close play, Brian. It looked like he was down.
Now, how can they call that not down? I mean, he was touched, he was down on the ground, and then the ball skips out of his hands. Here you're gonna see it on replay. And let's see.
There you can see the 3 wide receivers.
Oh, they said that he had gone past the line of scrimmage anyway. All right, he's down, and then the ball comes out. So I don't know how they could call that a fumble.
He certainly was down.
So Waltham gets a big break here in the 2nd quarter with 9:15 on the clock. They've got the ball 1st and 10 at the 45, at their own 45-yard line. So Hopkins and company. We'll see what they can do. Hopkins gives it straight ahead to number 5, his tailback, but he's going nowhere. There's a fumble. Markinson tries to get it. James Brown has it. James still on his feet, and he has the football. And a big turnover there for Brockton.
And seems like a little bit of karma came into play right there. Brockton making up for that bad call with their own big play. James Brown recovering the fumble.
Exactly, Peter. A little instant karma there.
And here you're going to see the ball is handed off to Chiclo. And you're going to see right about here the ball slides out of his hands. And there you see the after effects. James Brown had already picked the ball up and picked up an additional 5 or 6 yards.
And definitely that's a momentum builder right there.
Yeah, because still with no points on the board, as you see there, no points deep in the second quarter.
Resende keeps the ball, rolls out to his left, breaks a tackle, and he's inside the 15-yard line. Great run by Jesse Resende.
And Mother Nature certainly came into play to the advantage of Jesse Resende there, as 2 opposing players going to tackle him slipped right in front of him, allowing him to pick up some more yards.
Now we'll move the chains for another Brockton
And there's a nice shot of Coach Peter Colombo.
And Jesse wisely went out of bounds when he saw he had nowhere to go. He just like, okay, I'll go out of bounds right here and have a 1st down and move from here, instead of trying to force it in. Because with the ball being wet and slippery, we've already had 2 back-to-back fumbles. Really need to be smart out there.
So we've got a timeout with 8:55 on the clock. Waltham calls a timeout.
Timeout, Waltham.
Brockton with the football, 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Coach Peter Colombo had a nice article in the paper about the importance of this Thanksgiving Day game and the rivalry with Waltham. And Coach Peter Colombo had the opportunity to play at Brockton High, and during 72 and 73. Both one time during that time, both teams, Waltham and Brockton, were undefeated. And Brockton ended up beating Waltham and going to the Super Bowl that year. So this rivalry goes way back, even back to the 40s, I believe. So it's just like a Kansas City Chiefs, Oakland Raiders game. No love lost between these two opponents. Resende drops back and almost intercepted in the end zone, but it went right through the hands of the Waltham defender there. Number 15. That was Mark Gately, who had a chance for an interception in the end zone.
Yeah, because that was right in his hands. Yeah, and reiterating what you said about the no love lost, there was a time there that there was a brawl almost every year or some sort of extracurricular altercation going on. You know, last couple of years, the games have been clean. There hasn't been any extra stuff going on. So hopefully that will continue.
2nd and 10 for the Boxers. Resende in the pocket, throws in, has a man. Corey Brown, touchdown. As Corey does a little slant-in pattern, and Jesse Resende just threads the needle right now. Beautiful pass by the senior quarterback.
Yeah, because he was covered. Corey Brown was covered. He had a defender right on his shoulder, and you're going to see it right here. Jesse drops back. Plenty of time, all the time in the world. And then you're going to see the defender, 15 as well, right there. But he was not able to deflect the ball. Corey brings it in for a touchdown.
Paul Branco with the point after. Kick is up, and the kick is good.
And it's good. And with 8:43 left in the first half, we have the Brockton Boxers 7, Waltham Hawks
Brockton
0.
Boxers put the first points on the game on this Thanksgiving Day morning, excuse me. 7-0 lead with 8:43 on the clock. And they draw first blood.
It's obviously not going to be a game comparable to last week, Waltham's game, where they scored 42 points with these wet conditions. Should be probably a low-scoring game, but it's going to always, as every year, it's going to be an exciting game.
And it's going to be interesting to see how this Waltham team holds up in the second half. Do they have what it takes to keep up with this Brockton High football team? Again, coming in here at 10-0, undefeated.
There's the scoring drive. You see the run and an incompletion, and then the nice pass there to Corey Brown in the end zone. And if Brockton is able to hold Waltham and put some more numbers up on the board, get a nice little cushion, I think, as you stated, Peter, they will put in their second stringers, allow them to get some experience, playoff game type experience, because this is like a playoff game.
Well, I'd say before they even consider doing that, they have to put more points on the board, because they really don't have, neither team really has any breathing room here. Brockton's a 7-point lead.
And that's what I said. Yeah. They would have to get a little bit of comfortability. There's one of your words. They would need some room
Slipperiness,
there.
comfortability, and Colombo. The words of the day.
Tricklow with the kickoff return brings it back to the Waltham 32. That makes it 1st and 10 at the 32 of Waltham. This is Brockton Community Access Sports. I'm Miles Jackson with Brian Madden and Peter Zembor. Bring you all the colorful action here on Thanksgiving morning. Here at Rocky Marciano Stadium, playing on Armand Colombo Field. And they give a draw play there to Chickrow. And he's taken down at about the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 yard on the play.
Gain of about 2 on the play.
Wasn't a whole lot of room there for Chickrow to be able to turn upfield. And you're going to see right here, hands off, and he runs into the back of the offensive line, and it's swallowed up by Johnny Ray Bonds and others.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Hawks. They're in the I formation in the backfield. Don Hopkins at quarterback. And he hands it off to Chicklow again, and he's taken down quickly by number 45.
Johnny Ray Bonds. Johnny Ray Bonds has really stepped it up. He's had an outstanding season as well. I think he had some injuries in the middle of the season, which kind of slowed him down a little bit. But he looks like he's back to full strength. And
yeah, Brian, when he had those injuries, before he had those injuries, he was platooning a little bit in the offensive backfield. But since then, Coach Peter Colombo had the sense to realize he's a great defensive ball player, and he wants to save him for defense.
Yeah.
So he's kept him on the defensive side for most of that time since those injuries.
it also keeps him fresher, keeps him fresher. He's not in there as much. So
Hopkins throws it out there to the flat, but nothing there. So Brockton defense is all over that. At least 7 players are over there on that play.
And 19, you see 19. Well, you can't see it in the screen, but 19's walking back to the huddle, and he is all alone over here on the right side.
It was Patrick Hogan, number 19.
Loss of about 6 in the play.
And looks like that particular play was geared towards the left-hand side. But like you said, if he would have looked over to the right, the man was all alone. But it doesn't matter. It's a punting situation. 4th down and about 14 yards to go. And the kick is off. It's going to be taken by Brown. Looks for an opening, goes straight ahead. Breaks a tackle. Still breaks a tackle. He's loose. There he goes, folks. He's at the 40. He's going to go all the way. The 20, the 10. Corey Brown makes an exciting return, but there's a flag on
I
the
believe,
I believe it's a face mask.
I believe it's going to be a face mask call.
by Waltham. Face mask by Waltham, so that the touchdown is going to count. We will see in just a, that's the unofficial. We'll see in just a moment. Wait for the white cap.
Face mask. Waltham decline. Face mask for Waltham. They will stand.
And here you're going to see the replay, and you'll see the face mask as well by the second defender that grabs him. Oh no, there was the first one. He grabs him, spins him around. Corey too strong for that, and just goes with the pull, breaks free, and turns it upfield.
Just a great job of breaking tackles by Corey Brown. And Paul Branco will do the point after. Kick is up, and the kick is good.
And if any of these players were on other teams, Corey Brown, Junior Penn, let's see,
Jesse Resende.
Nate Thelen. Jesse Resende, he's the man here. But if they were on any other team, they would be the man. They would be one of the scoring leaders. But because Brockton has so many weapons, so many opportunities to score, they're all spread out. They don't have a whole lot of touchdowns. If you put them all together, then they'd be in the scoring leaders. Like you see some of these teams, like New Bedford and a couple other teams that they have one player, that carries the team. But Brockton has so many threats, so it just shows the versatility.
So the Brockton Boxers will kick off here in the second quarter with 6:06 on the clock. They've got a 14-0 lead. I'm sure that has to take a little inflation out of the, take a little air out of the Waltham Hawks, as they now have dug themselves in a hole with that fumble turnover there that James Brown picked up and ran into
To the end zone.
into Waltham territory. And a little short punt kick, and taken and still on his feet. And finally taken down at about the 44-yard line of Waltham.
20 on with the carry.
And that was number 48.
Driven out of bounds about the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 44.
It was Steve Hopkins with the carry for Waltham.
Was that Steve? Because he said Crayall or something like that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my sheet. Number 48, they've got Steve
48
Hopkins.
is Steve Hopkins, yeah.
So 1st and 10 for the Waltham Hawks. looking to get something going here in the first half. They don't want it to get out of control. Brockton showing blitz. And
They did blitz.
Waltham got nowhere on that particular carry.
And Brockton's juiced now. You know, right now they're amped. They get a 14-point lead. They know that if they can come away with a victory now, they will be undefeated going into the playoffs. And they'll probably be facing another formidable foe, Everett, in the Super Bowl as they did last year, because they also are 10-0.
In any regard, last year's Division I Super Bowl as being one of the best high school Super Bowl games ever played.
Oh, yes.
2nd and 11 for the Boxers. Fake draw play, and Hops is going to run it. And he's tackled down hard, about a 3 or 4 yard, about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, in on a tackle.
Gain of about 2 yards.
And let's call it a 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Waltham Hawks.
And here you're going to see the replay. And here you see 66 and Kenil Velez, 58. So Jonathan Rucas and Kenil Velez in on the tackle.
So 3rd down with 4:36 on the clock.
You need down in yards, guys.
3rd down and about 7 yards to go for the for the Hawks. And it's a fake draw. Hopkins looking, throws a little
Intercepted.
easy pass, and it's just dropped by number 58. He had it.
Velez, he really wishes he had that back. I mean, because it was a duck.
Yeah, I think the quarterback lost the grip on the ball with the wetness, and because it just kind of, like you said, it was a duck.
It was
just
a
kind of
duck.
floated out there.
Yeah.
That was easy pickings.
Yeah, right off his fingertips.
So it brings up 4th down and about 7 yards to go. Definitely a punting situation for the Hawks.
And the Hawks are at the 47-yard line.
And if everything goes right for the Boxers, with including this game, they will play 3 games in a 10-day period. They will start off, I believe, with Marshfield in the first round of the playoffs, and if they can get by Marshfield, I'm sure they're probably looking at Everett if Everett can win their first playoff game. And there goes Nate Thelen, still on his feet, and the ball is fumbled, and I believe Doherty picked it up.
And there was a flag called down at about the 35-yard line.
Doherty recovers the ball, but there is a flag.
And let's see what the flag is.
Here comes
As
the white
You
cap.
can see Thelen and Doherty. So the penalty was on Waltham.
On Brockton.
From Brockton, excuse me. So the ball will be brought back in Brockton territory at about the 34-yard line. But they're going to walk off the penalty, a 10-yarder.
Nice kick, Nate Thelen. And you should right there. Number 75 was pushed in the back. And that was a ill-advised, push because that defender couldn't get to Thelen. So why cause a penalty?
And I'm sure Coach Colombo will point that out in the game films. 4:02 on the clock, 1st and 10 for the Boxers. I formation in the backfield. And it's going to be a draw play to McNeil. And it was covered nicely by the Waltham Hawks. It's a loss of about 2 yards.
Taken down by Dave Melchiori.
It'll bring up 2nd down and about 12 for the Brockton Boxers, with a 14-0 lead here in the 2nd quarter.
Timeout, Brockton.
And Brockton calls a timeout with 3:28 left in this first half. And it's been a pretty exciting half, Brian.
Yes, it has. It has definitely been an exciting half. Waltham has played outstanding defense for the most part. There was the fumble that led to Brockton's first touchdown, and the run back and that led to the second. But for all intents and purposes, Waltham's defense has really stood tall and kept Brockton's offensive line from really just pushing players back, as Brockton has done so often in this season.
2nd and 12 for the Boxers. Play fake, Vicente in the pocket, looks, fires downfield, looking for Thelen, and just out of his reach. Nate Thelen had a step on the defenders, but it was just out of his reach for a completion.
Yeah, that was a good throw by Jesse. I think that the balls are starting to dry, enabling them to get a better grip. Thelen had a step or two on a defender, but like you said, it was just out of his reach by about about a yard.
And the rain has stopped here at Rocky Marciano Stadium as the clouds are, you can see the sun a little bit trying to come out of the clouds. Makes it a little bit more comfortable for our Brockton High fans and our visitors from Waltham. Little play fake again. Resende looking.
Corey.
Fires in the, and just dropped by the defender there. Number 86 went right off his chest. As Jesse Resende had a lot of pressure.
He had a lot of pressure, but Corey was skirting down the sideline, was open briefly. Right around this time, Corey was, he didn't really have time to throw it to Corey. Tried to get it to Doherty. And fortunate that there wasn't an interception there.
So it'll be a punting situation for the Boxers. Resende gets off a punt. Nice, decent punt inside Waltham territory taken. And he goes straight ahead into Brockton territory at about the 41-yard line.
So the Hawks will start with really good field position with 3 minutes left in the half, which is a lot of time.
Waltham will take over on Brockton's 41-yard line.
So Waltham would like nothing better than to put a crooked number up on the board to try and keep pace with Brockton.
Brockton leading this rivalry series with the Hawks. 41 wins, 26 losses, and 4 ties over the years, over the decades. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. One lone man in the backfield. Hopkins at quarterback. Hopkins rolls out with some pressure, and he fires there to the sidelines.
Pass was intended for Patrick Hogan.
And it's completed.
No, incomplete. They said incomplete.
Nope, looks like they're calling it complete. So brings up 2nd down and about a half yard for a first. Nice catch over there. Nice catch by the receiver out there.
And here you're going to see just over the defender. Oh, he did catch the ball.
Number 19. That's Patrick Hogan. It hangs on to the ball. And
drops the ball once he's out of bounds.
So 2nd and short. Man in motion for the Hawks. And they give it straight ahead. And he gets a first down. That was Taylor.
Taylor with the carry.
And you were saying, Peter?
Yeah, I just think that some innocent bystanders on the sideline have to get more wise to what's going on in the field, because we saw the young little kid who brings out the tee get hit earlier. Then we saw a guy get clipped a little bit on that last play. So people have to pay attention out there.
Definitely so. So 1st and 10 for the Hawks. Ball is at the 28-yard line of Brockton. Hawks threatening here with 2:31 on the clock and running. They've got their wide out in motion again. And straight ahead again to Taylor for a couple of yards, but not before being pushed back.
Canelo Velez meets him just after he crossed the line of scrimmage. and drove him back.
So that'll bring up second down in about 8 or 9.
And here you see the replay. Right there, Cannell grabs him with the assistance of
Number 60.
number 60,
Second and 9 at 27.
Perry Phillips.
So 140 on the clock and running. Waltham trying to put something together here late in the second quarter. Getting pressured, can't find anybody, and he's sacked out of bounds.
And the interesting thing was 2 Brockton defenders were going off after the quarterback, and I believe Velez actually hit one of his own players and bounced backwards.
Yeah, Velez and Ushry. And
along with Melton.
yes, and Ushry, he's a big boy, but that boy is quick. He is quick to be so big.
Loss of about 18 on the play.
Yes,
One of the
he is.
captains. And here you're going to see it. Velez running hard.
It is Latrell Melton to finish it off.
And Ushry wasn't in on the tackle, but he was there. He was close by, in the proximity.
1 minute, 28 seconds left. A long third down and about 16 yards to go for a first. Hawks got an uphill climb here. Trying to put something together here in the second quarter, late in the second quarter. They've got their offense spread out. Hopkins rolls out, looks, he's pressured, still looking, fires down, it's open, and went through one of our guys' hands and almost caught by the wide receiver of Waltham, but the ball is still slick. So that'll bring up fourth down. So a golden opportunity for Waltham has slipped out of their hands.
Yeah, Nate Thelen upset with himself that he wasn't able to bring that in. And here you're going to see the replay. And then you're going to see pressure on the quarterback.
Right through Nate's hands.
Yeah, it's just a little high.
And the sun is making an effort to really get out here on these Thanksgiving fans. We had snow before the ball game, as Peter was saying. It would have been nice to be playing in the snow, but it's better than the rain.
Yeah, I guess snow would have more of that winter football feel to it.
Yeah, it'd be nice for us because we're in the
Yeah,
warm press
we're
box.
in the press box, however. Players are having enough trouble catching the ball when it's slippery and wet. Yeah, it's more moisture to it.
I
Could
guarantee
be
you,
a mess.
our cameramen are not saying, I wish it was snowing.
No, exactly. I was looking for a winter wonderland out there today.
Well, you better wait till Christmas.
Our cameramen have already experienced the snow, setting up the cameras this morning. And I don't think they want to experience snow throughout the game.
No. As you can see the sunlight hitting the field. And that's a good thing.
That's a beautiful thing. Yes.
And it's becoming a beautiful Thanksgiving morning out here at Rocky Marciano Stadium. Players are on Armand Colombo Field. And it's a punting situation. And gets off a little short punt, takes a Brockton bounce. And actually, it takes a Waltham bounce. And they're going to call it
A touchback.
touchback because the Waltham player,
Went into the end zone, touching the ball.
no, they're going to leave
Those
it
are
right
one
there.
line.
They're going to leave it there. So I guess the ruling is in high school, once he touches it right there, even though he's in,
What?
I guess he touched it first when here it is on replay. Let's see if he was in the territory when he touched it, then went into the end zone.
Yeah, he was in the end zone
his
when he
foot
touched
was in
it.
it, so that was a close play. So that's a definite Waltham Thanksgiving gift here at home for the Brockton Boxers. So Brockton Boxers are pinned down with 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the second quarter.
Okay.
Because clearly the Waltham player was in the end zone when he touched it.
All right, they need to get out of the end zone so they can down the ball and go into the half 14 up. There's a minute and 7 seconds. And there you see his foot is on the white line as he touches before he touches the ball.
Yes.
There's no way that should not be a touchback out to the 20.
Maybe the ruling is that if the ball doesn't go in, perhaps since the ball didn't go into the end zone.
Yeah. The high school ruling could be a little bit different than professional. And whistles are blown before the snap.
Flag in the play.
And great camera work there and by our camera crew and production staff down in the truck.
So they're going to go half the distance to the goal line. They'll move the ball 2 inches closer to the end zone. Or it's against Waltham. Well, that's a beautiful thing.
And besides Brockton being the Super Bowl champs, we have a super crack cable team here giving us nothing but the best of angle shots here at the football game here today and the whole year.
Definitely.
So Brockton has his offense uptight and close. And Resende's going to keep it. Hurdles over the defenders. And
Jesse thinking, come on, Jesse, don't be doing anything.
Right, you don't want to be like Michael Vick
and
get hurt.
This is not the time to be trying to, you know,
do the high hurdles.
Do the high hurdles. I mean, just there you're going to see right there. Jesse leaps up. Oh, and actually the defender actually catapulted him, threw up his legs, which really could have injured him.
Olympics aren't until 2008, Jesse. Let's hold off on the hurdle.
Yeah. Let's make it to the Super Bowl. We'll make it to the playoffs. Can't go too far ahead.
So it's a 1st down and 10 for the Boxers. Time still running, 35 seconds on the clock. Brockton has their offense spread out this time. Maybe a pass play, and it is. Resende in the pocket, finds a man, Nate Dellin. And Nate's looking to go. There he goes, folks. He's at the 30. Spins around and inside the 35, up to about the 38, 39-yard line. And great run after the catch by Nate Dellin.
And Brockton's trying to put a bigger number up on the board. 15 seconds left in the. Here you're going to see the replay. We come back to live action.
So we got a timeout with 15 seconds left on the clock. As you said, Brian, Peter Colombo, he's one of them type of coaches. If there's time on the clock, let's do something.
Well, I think his intention is to try and get up to 21-0, so he can really rest his starters.
Yeah.
You know, take them out of the game and let the. Here you're going to see the replay. Jesse drops back, plenty of time. Thelen wide open in the middle of the field. Runs around, nice block up there by. Nice block, opening up a little bit more room for him.
And the great thing, Peter, about Resende, where he can go to his receivers, and almost all of them are all breakaway threat type of receivers.
Oh, he's got so many threats out there. Nate Dellin, Corey Brown.
Even Doherty, the tight end, has breakaway threat.
Yeah, Doherty has a number of outstanding catches this year.
Even if you look at a play like Jaron McNeil, who gets touches here and there at running back position, he's a speedster as well.
The Brockton offense, as you can see on your screen, puts 3 wideouts at the bottom.
And not often used, but also Marcelino Correa,
who had a nice catch last week for a touchdown. Resende throws it down the field and has a man open inside Waltham territory with 6 seconds on the clock.
2 big plays by Nate Dellin.
And once the ball's put down and the referees blow the whistle, I believe the time starts. And it does. 4 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, and they get the play off, but the referees are saying, okay, they're calling a timeout. Boxers called a timeout with I believe 1 second on the clock. There's no second on the clock, but I'm sure they will adjust it appropriately.
And they just want one more shot. They want a shot at the end zone.
Yeah.
So you know that it's going to be a couple post patterns or a wide receiver just wide out, running for the end zone. Corey Brown has outstanding speed. Nate Thelen has good speed. So if they can have get any kind of room away from the defender.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want to keep your seats for the halftime entertainment.
Marcelino, he's another one that has some speed out there, the senior. As I said last week, he scored a touchdown on a pass from Jesse Resende, a 39-yard TD strike. So he's another speedster. And they've got them all out there. Brown and Thelen at the bottom of your screen. Career at the top. Junior Penn in the backfield. And here we go with 1 second on the clock in the second quarter. Jesse feels the pressure, throws it out deep. And just out of the reach of Nate Thelen, and even Corey Brown almost had
Corey
it.
Brown was right. I think Corey Brown had a better chance to catch that ball than Nate did.
So Brockton ends the first half on this Thanksgiving morning with a 14-0 lead, Brian. And right now, Brockton's defense has a number on Waltham's offense.
Yes, they've definitely been able to stop the Waltham offense from moving as easily as they were the first half or first quarter. Brockton got their 2 touchdowns. One, they benefited by a fumble by Waltham, and one by a run back. So the offense has not really been doing as outstanding a job as they've been doing in the previous season. Pete?
Well, Brockton's just pretty much done what they have to do the first half, and that's why they have a 14-0 lead. They haven't been great, but they've done everything right, and that's just as good. That is great, as a matter of fact. So I would fully expect Brockton to continue this lead, and perhaps a Thanksgiving Day shutout.
It's you.
2-6-1.
And Brian and Miles discussing who won the 50-50 raffle. Did either of you win?
No, unfortunately. Came close, though.
Well, you know what? I have 262. The ticket just before mine.
So Brian will not be getting a free Thanksgiving turkey.
I will not be getting a free Thanksgiving turkey. How unfortunate.
Momentarily, the Brockton High School band will be coming up, perhaps to take Brian's mind off the fact that he lost the 50-50 raffle. One of the best bands in the United States, as Miles mentioned earlier, which will be a real treat for not only our Brockton viewers, but also for our Waltham viewers, as they don't often get the chance to see this. But as we mentioned, quite a few people from Waltham, Massachusetts have made it out to today's game, as the visiting side, as you see on your screen right now, a little bit scattered, but probably the most filled up it's been this season for a visiting team.
Yeah, and see, there's more than what's there. A lot of them are on their way over to
concession stand.
To the concession stand, walking over to the concession stand. So, you know, that's less than what is actually here.
And like you said, Peter, we're gonna get a real treat this afternoon. Excuse me, this morning with the Brockton High Marching Band.
And we'll leave you with that.
Marching band under the direction of Victor McCullough.
When Charles Bennett graduated from high school, he dreamed of returning to his old neighborhood as a teacher. But without the money for college, only half his dream came true. He's back in the old neighborhood. Please support the United Negro College Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
What do you get when you mix a chef, a plumber, and a policeman with an abandoned restaurant? A recipe for success. With the help of their local community coalition, these three brought in carpenters and electricians. They donated time and materials and helped turn that old restaurant into a family center. Now they're all building a better community, volunteering to help keep kids away from drugs. And that's the tastiest dish of all. Visit helpyourcommunity.org to see what your group can do, because you get more
when you get together.
Very good. Welcome back to Rocky Marciano Stadium, Armand Colombo Field. And we have a treat. We have two alumni here, Mike Robertson and James Jackson, who are coming from William Penn University over in Iowa. Gentlemen, tell us, welcome.
How are you? How are you?
How you doing today?
Doing
Happy
well.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. You guys had an outstanding season, a good season this year. What you went 6-3?
Nah, we was 6-5 on the year.
6-5 on the year.
Yeah.
Just missed the playoffs. Mike, you did good things. You know, averaging 2 catches a game. You know, a couple of touchdowns this season. James, you know, you broke the single season the rushing title.
The single season rushing record. Yeah, I had 1,500 on the year, which the previous record was 1,428. So, you know, we went ahead and took care of that this year.
It's outstanding, outstanding. So you're looking forward to next season, try and do a little better, make it to the playoffs?
Yeah, I seen the year. You know, we're going to come in, got to play big, got a nice defense coming back. Our offense is going to be all right again. So we're looking to do some big things next year.
Yeah, we're looking forward to, you know, coming up to see you because you guys play Maine every year. And
yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully we get that back on the schedule. So it's nice to come back to the East and have a game where people could come up and see us play. Because all our games be in the Midwest, so nobody from back home really get to see us play. So it'd be nice if we could get that main game back on the schedule again.
Yeah, that would be outstanding because I know a number of people came up there this year.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, it was a conflict of schedule for some people. They weren't able to attend, such as myself. But, you know, that's great.
Yeah.
We had our season. It's all right. It was all right.
And you, now you get a chance to, be all something?
Now I made first
All-American status?
First team all-conference. We still waiting to see if that All-American gonna come through. But, yeah, I have made the first team all-conference this year.
Okay. Well, that's outstanding. You know, we're glad you came home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's nice to be home. We ain't been home in a little while, so it's nice to be back.
Oh yeah, to see the black and red, you know.
Yeah, you proud of your boys?
Oh yeah. You
know, 10-0?
I left a little bit prematurely, you know, but man, I miss it.
Yeah, well, they're doing outstanding.
Yeah, I had it 9-0, huh?
10-0.
10-0. Okay.
And about to be 11-0 if they can hold on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we want to thank you guys for giving us a few minutes.
Right,
okay. Thank you for having
us.
us.
About to go watch the rest of this game now.
All right.
Get this win.
Yeah.
All right
now.
Okay.
Okay, Ruth. Test.
Yeah,
We're ready to kick off here. It's nice to see some of the alumni around, Brian.
Yes. And, you know, both of those young men, you know, are leaders in what they're doing. You know, they're doing big things. They went on to college and doing big things. So I'm really proud of both of them.
So Brockton will receive the kickoff here in the second half. And it's a very short kick. Taken about the 35 by Nate Dallin. He goes around the corner. He's got an opening. There he goes. Outruns to the 50, 40, 35, and inside the 35-yard line. And a great run by Nate Dallin following his blockers very smartly.
And for a short kick, good thing Nate Dallin was not way in the backfield, and he was able to get a very good return.
Yeah, give Coach Peter Colombo credit on putting Nate Dallin. For some reason, he had the sense to put him up close because I believe Waltham really hasn't been kicking off very well. They've only kicked off at the beginning.
Yeah.
But take a look at their punts. They
Punts,
really
exactly,
don't have a
punts.
strong kicking team.
Right, there you go, the punts, because that's their first kickoff of the game. But like you said, Peter, their punting hasn't been too up to par, so he just had a notion to put some of his better handling football guys up there up close. 1st and 10 for the Boxers. They're in Waltham territory, and there goes McNeil.
McNeil with the carry.
McNeil picks up about 5 yards on the run.
To about the 26-yard line.
Down to about the 26-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and about 5 or 6. Outstanding run by McNeil. Just bounced to the outside. Was able to break a tackle and pick up about 4.5 yards.
Boxers in the I formation. Got their wide out spread out. And they hand it off to McNeil again. He goes off tackle. Gets a first down and more. To the 15, to 10. Finally taken down at about the 10-yard line, and a nice run by McNeil to get a first down and more.
And, you know, this is an excellent opportunity. I would think that for the remainder of this game, McNeil is going to get the bulk of the touches as far as a running back position, because
so we got 1st and 10. Brockton is in the red zone of Waltham's, threatening to score again. Right now they're leading 14-0. And Resende is going to keep it. Breaks a tackle and gets down to about the 5 or 6. And just a little bit close, about a 5-yard carry on the play.
taken down by number 19, Patrick Hogan. So it'll be 2nd and 4 or 2nd and 3. But again, you see Johnny Ray Bonds in the backfield with McNeil. Johnny Ray playing fullback.
Actually, that's Penn in the backfield.
Penn, I mean.
And they hand it off to Penn. He goes straight up the middle for a touchdown. Standing up, Junior Penn with the run right up the middle for a 6-yard rushing touchdown. And nice opening by the offensive line to give Junior Penn a clear view of the end zone.
And what a way to start off the second half of Brockton. First drive, put in for 6, as you'll see the replay right here. But I would expect much more of that in the second half. Because as you mentioned, Brian, they are a second-half team predominantly.
Yeah, they are second. They get stronger as the game goes on. And they really tend to wear down the defense because they play so aggressively.
Paul Branco with the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good.
And the kick is good.
So Paul Branco gets his 3rd point after this morning.
And Branco has been one of the most consistent players all season long. I mean, he has doesn't he have a 28-yard kick field goal? And
he has a 30-something yard
and
field
a
goal.
36.
Yes.
Yeah, 36 and 38-yard field goal.
He had a 27 last week on the win against New Bedford.
And that's not something you see quite often at the high school level.
With consistency.
With consistency. You know, he only has maybe at most 3 misses this season. He has less than 5, I would think. And that's the unofficial scoring.
8:19 on the clock. Brockton up 21-0. Getting a little bit closer to that 11-0 undefeated season. If they reach that point, it'll be the first 11-0 season by a Brockton High football team. Brockton has been playing 11 games since about 10 years ago. Before that, they usually play about 9 or 10 games.
And not to say that other teams haven't come close, and not to say that it didn't come close to going the other way this season. As we mentioned, they did have 2 close overtime games where they were able to pull through.
Yeah, but they showed so much poise and tenacity to, you see, he's got nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. And he's just running around nowhere, backwards. And great kickoff coverage by the kickoff team there.
Yeah, and a little bit of piling on at the end. But yeah, he had nowhere to go.
And we'll see how Waltham's offense does here, because they have been able to move the ball throughout the game. They just have yet to put up any points. And when you're down by 21 points, in the third quarter. It's time. It's now or never.
Yeah. It doesn't help when you come out in the second half and the team that you're playing has you shut out and then comes down on their first offensive possession and gets a touchdown. That takes a little wind out of you early on in the third quarter.
Yeah, especially when they do it in like 5 plays.
So let's see what Waltham is made of here in the second half. 1st and 10. And they give it to their main man, number 5, Chirklo.
And James Brown was in the right place to make the tackle. Took him down after a gain of about 2 yards.
So it brings up a 2nd down and about 8 for the Waltham Hawks. That's Hopkins at quarterback, and it's a fumble snap at the snap, and he falls on it. And that'll bring out 3rd down and about 11. So it was a 2-yard loss on the fumble.
Yeah, and I just want to, really commend the Boxers for what they're doing. I mean, going to where they have a chance to go 11-0 if they're able to hold on. And this season was outstanding in a number of ways. I mean, they also have their 700th victory and climbing this season.
So 6:47 on the clock and running. 3rd down and about 11 yards to go for a first. As a passing situation, play action fake. Hopkins rolls to his right, looks, pressured, finally just throws it away. As big number 83 and number 58 were on the quarterback's tail.
Yeah, Canil Velez.
And Gene Noel, Joey Gene Noel on the pursuit.
And Canil has been pressuring, and that's not a stat that you're going to see in the stat books as far as pressures. But Canil has, 4 or 5 pressures up to this point against the quarterback.
So the punt gets off a nice punt just past Nate Dellen's head. And he's going to let it go wisely. And it takes a nice Waltham bounce to about the 26-yard line. So Brockton will get the ball back here for the 2nd time here in the 3rd quarter. First time ended in a Junior Penn 6-yard touchdown run. One of the famous football players that came out of Waltham High was Freddie Smerlis, who is now on WEEI and a number of other Patriots broadcasts.
Also a very good player for the Buffalo Bills back in the day.
Yes, he was an All-Pro. There goes Penn.
No, McNeil.
McNeil. And nice run for a first time by Jim McNeil.
Yeah, Jerry McNeil able to move the sticks. And like I was saying briefly, and it's like you said, 1st down at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. But Jerry McNeil will get most of the touches as far as at running back, preparing him for next season and the playoffs because Junior Penn will be gone.
1st and 10 for the Boxers at the 39-yard line. They give it to McNeil again. Breaks a tackle and taken down, but not after a nice 5-yard gain. And back in during the 70s, Coach Peter Colombo, who was the quarterback for Brockton, went up against Freddie Smerlis 3 times during their career in high school, and then they went up against each other during the Holy Cross Boston College era when Boston College played Holy Cross regularly, and so Coach Colombo has a lot in common with Waltham High.
And we have an injured player down on the field. It's trying to see. I see it's a 5. is it's number 35. Dave Melchiori. And forgive me if I've mispronounced that.
And we just got the official word that Brockton High will be playing Marshfield High this Tuesday at 7 p.m. here at Brockton High. So everyone come on out and support your Brockton High football team, defending Super Bowl champion Brockton High football team.
Melchiori. I've gotten the correct pronunciation.
This is Miles Jackson with Brian Madden and Peter Zembor, bringing you all the colorful football action here on a beautiful Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, it turned out to be a beautiful day. It started off a bit rough. Breakdown's going to be a little bit easier, huh, Pete?
I would think so.
Second down and about 5 yards to go for a first. Brockton with two wideouts at the top of your screen. They give it straight ahead to McNeil.
Aaron Richardson.
Oh, Richardson, excuse me, number 41.
Yeah, you get the 4 and the 1 in there. Confuses you.
It's all right. I know you get a little dyslexic at times.
I need something to eat. I need some turkey, some dressing.
And I just had a cup of coffee, and I'm done. I'm not. There will be nothing else going in my mouth except for some Thanksgiving eatings.
I got some breakfast sandwiches downstairs.
No, I'm all set. I'm all set. Thank you.
Third down, about 1 yard to go for a first. The sun is really shining down on these Thanksgiving football fans here at Rocky Marciano Stadium.
20-second timeout.
Scoring so far has been Corey Brown in that first half with a 12-yard TD reception from Jesse Resende in the second quarter. Then Corey Brown a 60-yard touchdown punt return, which was electrifying here in the second quarter. Then Junior Penn with his 6-yard touchdown run here early on in the third quarter. And that's why the score is 21-0. Brockton. And Resende hands it off again. This time to Junior Penn's got an opening. There he goes. And he just shoestring tackle, which saved, it looks like another touchdown by the Waltham defender there, one of the linebackers.
Yeah, it looked like it was 49, but I don't see a 49 on here, so I'm going to call it
48.
Steve. 48. Steve Hopkins.
Nice shoestring tackle by Hopkins to save a possible touchdown. As those holes look like they're getting a little bit bigger, Peter, out there that the offensive line is making. That play action fake by Resende goes in the middle, has a man, that's Dellin. And Dellin goes inside the 25-yard line.
And Nate Dellin is just finding ways to get open throughout the day. He always seems to be open in the middle of the field. And good looks by Jesse Resende for always noticing that.
Yeah, taken down by Tim Loftus. And yet Dellin does get open.
So 1st and 10 for the Boxers. They're inside Waltham territory, threatening. Waltham looking to blitz. There's a flag on the play. Resende pressured. Finally just throws it out there and incomplete.
Yeah, he's fortunate that that wasn't an interception.
And my guess is that was a defensive offense offsides on Waltham. So the down could be replayed over. And no, it was illegal motion on the offense.
Illegal motion against Brockton.
So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. Assessed. Waltham takes the penalty. So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Boxers. .310 here in the third quarter. Boxers have an I formation in the backfield. Snake drops back, throws it out there, and just incomplete. Nice play by the cornerback out there, number 19 for Waltham, to break that play up on Corey Brown was out there. As you can see him coming back to the cuddle.
And Corey actually had to turn into kind of a defensive back as well. Not necessarily a receiver in that situation because the ball was kind of thrown up, whereas either player had a chance at it, and Corey knew that if he couldn't catch it, he wanted to ensure that it wasn't an interception. So smart play by Corey.
So 2nd down and 15 for the Boxers. 3:03 on the clock. Sunday drops back again, looks to the other side, and throws it up there, and incomplete. This time it was to Nate Dellin.
And Nate Dellin had to do the exact same thing. He had to turn into a cornerback, and knowing that if he was not able to get the reception, ensure that the opposition was not able to bring that in.
Yeah, there was 2 defenders right on top of him and another one within 5 feet of him. So Nate Dellin really didn't have much to work with there.
There's a possibility that Jesse Resende lost handle on that ball.
Yes, and no, it looks like, yeah, it's kind of a duck up there. And there you see Dellin playing defensive back.
Now, number 46 for Waltham on that play, he pulled up like he pulled a hamstring, so he's out of the game. And I'm sure Coach Peter Colombo recognizes that, because on that replay you saw is he went up, he went for his hamstring when he came down, so he's out of the game. Number 46, one of the starters for Waltham.
Yeah, James Murata. And I just want to take this opportunity to mention the number of seniors they're going to be losing.
Yeah, this is the last regular season game for seniors.
Yes.
Of course, there will be a game Tuesday here, being the first playoff game.
As far as importance in starters, Jesse Resende, let's see, Junior Penn, Johnny Ray Bonds, Curtis Ushery, Latrell Melton, Jonathan Rucas, Canel Velez, Perry Phillips, Marcelino Correa, Ryan Doherty.
Paul Branco?
Paul Branco. Yeah, he's definitely right up there. Nate Dellin, I'm sorry, you should have been way up there at the top. James Brown. Let's see. Jason Margeson. Michael Murray. Aaron Richardson. So they're going to lose a very large number of their key players going into next season. But that's one thing that, you know, they've lost a number of players over the years, key players. But I'm going to call them the coaches Colombo in this situation. I know it's Pete's team, but they always adapt and bring up whatever they need to do, fill whatever holes they need to.
Pass is incomplete, a little bit short because Doherty had the man beat by a foot, by a step, but it was a little bit short.
And Spiro Cianis really should have intercepted that ball. It was right there in his hands.
And that's who replaced the injured cornerback, so Peter Colombo picked that up very quickly and went right to the same side again, went right at him. And so a nice play calling there. Unfortunately, it just didn't connect.
Yeah. And here you're going to see it right here. And see the defender had someone was attacking Jesse and just slipped and fell.
And if you looked at that, it looks like Doherty had him beat by 2 steps. So if that ball was a little bit further out, that was a touchdown.
Definitely.
So 4th down and about 15 yards to go for a first. Brockton's going for it. Resende goes over the middle and has a man, but it's just knocked away from Corey Brown's hands.
And excellent defense by Mark Gately.
Yes, number 15.
Yes, who just broke up that pass play. And the sun is out. Full strength.
And you can see
shadows
on
on the field. This is beautiful.
And with 2:43 left to go in the 3rd quarter, Brockton up 21-0. I got to think, at this point, Brockton's got to be thinking they want to put Waltham away with a shutout. And I recall years ago when Brockton nearly shut out Waltham, the score was 45-0 at halftime. The final score ended up being 45-14. The NBC affiliate out of Providence that night had the score as 45-14 Waltham. We don't have that station in this area anymore, but let's hope that all the Boston stations get the score right. Because it looks like Brockton could be coming away with a victory, but still a lot of game to play.
Yes, indeed. A handoff there to their main man.
And Johnny Ray Bonds, excellent stop there. Met him right there just after he crossed the line of scrimmage and backed him up.
That was Chicklow on the carry, who Brockton has kept in check for most of the morning.
Yeah, because last week Chicklow had an outstanding game. Really put up big numbers. Had 3 touchdowns. He had a 14-yard run, a 35-yard run, and a 7-yard run. But Brockton has kept him in check, like you said. This game kept him well under 100 yards.
2nd and 10 for the Waltham Hawks. Quarterback rolls out. Sideline pass is incomplete. Receiver looking for a flag, but that was just good coverage by Nate Dellen.
3rd down and 10.
So 3rd and 10 for the Waltham Hawks, as they've stalled a little bit here in the second half on their offense. Give credit to Brockton's defense to rising to the occasion in the second half.
Yeah, they definitely have stood tall today, and they really wanted the moral victory of beating Waltham and remaining undefeated. They know that Waltham comes in here very tough. So if they're able to hold on.
Play action fake. Quarterback feels the pressure, and he's going to be slung down. And I believe they're going to call the ball right there.
Taken down by Jerome Edwards.
And they're going to call that pass incomplete, even though he was in the grasp of number 85. Jerome Edwards. Nice play by Jerome.
And he's a name that we haven't called this season up to this point. So
what year is Jerome?
Jerome is a junior. Okay. So
we're looking for big things from Jerome next year.
That's right, Jerome, because next year you will more than likely be starting.
That's right.
So, you know, when you get the opportunity, really, all you younger players, all you juniors and possible seniors that haven't had starting positions, you know, a lot of playing time, and this goes for Waltham as well. When the seniors move on and you get the opportunity, you really, really must take advantage of it. Get yourself in shape for next season. And, you know, when you get the opportunity, show what you can do.
So 4th down, a punting situation for the Waltham Hawks. Corey Brown and Nate Dellen will be back deep for Brockton. Gets off a high, somewhat short punt. Takes a Waltham bounce. Nice Waltham bounce inside the 35-yard line, down to about the 31. So Brockton will take over with 1 minute and 13 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter, still with a 21-0 lead and a chance to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, and their punter is really doing I'd say he's doing an outstanding job, because when the ball hits the ground, quite often he's getting about 10 or 12 yards added on to his total yards. So backing Brockton up.
So here come the boxes. Ball's at the 31-yard line of Brockton. I formation in the backfield. And Sidney rolls out, keeps it, goes right back up the middle. Tries to juke a defender there and gets upfield for a 1st down and more. Finally taken down by number 35 for Waltham.
Dave Melchiori. And Patrick Hogan had the opportunity to try and take him down before he got the 1st down, but Jesse was too elusive for him, and he was able to get past him, enabling moving the sticks.
1st and 10 for the boxes.
Looks like Brockton coming out to be explosive on this drive.
And they hand it off straight ahead to number 41, Aaron Richardson. Gain of actually no gain. Put it back to the line of scrimmage.
And there was a little, I don't know, mishandling of the ball when he was handing it off. It wasn't a clean handoff. Waltham capitalized on that. Stopped him at the line of scrimmage and backed him up. And you hear the Brockton band in the background.
And there's the end of the third quarter. As time runs out, one more quarter. Brockton has until it has an undefeated regular season record.
And there's the numbers, 21-0. We're bringing you Brockton Boxers Football 2005 at Rocky Marcial Stadium at Armand Colombo Field. That's what I said, Marciano Stadium.
You butchered that one a little bit, Brian.
Did I butcher that one a
You
little
did.
bit? Hey, well, you know what? Delirium is setting in. I'm hungry.
Now, Brockton, as we've been mentioning, could have an 11-0 regular season with a win today. If they defeat Marshfield, if they do get by Waltham today, which it looks like they will, they're up 21-0 with 10 minutes of football left to play. So if they get by Waltham today, they get by Marshfield this Tuesday in the first round of the playoffs, and then they move on to the Super Bowl, which presumably they're probably going to be playing Everton Super Bowl. I believe they would be the first team in Massachusetts high school history to go 13-0 on the season if they can pull off that feat.
If they can pull off that feat.
They still got some ways to go.
They have some ways to go. And I know that knowing that Marshfield has dropped them from their schedule, they would like nothing more than to smack them in the mouth on Tuesday and, you know, defeat them one more time for the last time.
It'll be interesting next season seeing how Taunton's program is, because I don't recall hearing much about Taunton's football program ever.
Taunton has an outstanding program. They really do. I think they're leading their division as well.
A little pitch
Or at
out the
least
pin.
Close to it.
And he's taken out of bounds.
Because they were undefeated for some time, I believe, until late in the season. I believe they were on an undefeated bus. You know, right now, the only ones that we are really concerned with on the undefeated bus is Brockton and Everett. Natick doesn't really mean anything to us because we don't play them at all. There's no chance that we would ever play them.
So third down and about 6 yards to go. Ball is just inside Waltham territory. Placed at the 49-yard line. Two wideouts there at the top of your screen. You see Corey Brown at the bottom of your screen. Lone man in the backfield. And they give it straight ahead. And that was Aaron Richardson with the carry. Which will bring up a fourth down and about 2 or 3 yards to go for a first. And they're going to go for it.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, keep control of the ball. Brockton has been able to get chunks of yards. I won't say easily, but they've been able to move the sticks consistently.
Nate Dillon on the motion, and there goes Jesse. He puts on the burners. He's going to go all the way, folks. 10-5, touchdown, Brockton. Jesse Vicende throws on the afterburners and goes right up the middle for an exciting touchdown run here in the fourth quarter with 8:57 on the clock.
Jesse Vicende, he's just so exciting to watch. You know, it's going to be sad to see him gone next season. But look at him go. You know, number 19, trying to catch him. But when Jesse gets into the open field, he's very, very quick. It's very difficult to catch him.
And there's a good shot of our Super Bowl champion flag for 2004 as Brockton has it hanging high and proud. Kick is up and good by Paul Branco. And the Boxers increased this lead to 28-0, Peter.
Well, Brockton's just got to, as you were just saying a moment ago, it'll be sad to see Jesse Resende go. Yes, it will, but it'll be interesting to see where he ends up, if he'll move on in his football career. And as we've been saying, he's just a great athlete all around. It'll be interesting to see what sport he ends up in if he continues athletics in college.
Yeah, I think that he may have a tough time, being able to stay at the quarterback position.
Well, he grew up playing running back, keep in mind.
Yeah, and he, because he's small, He's small for a quarterback. He kind of reminds you of Doug Flutie, only with speed, with burners. Because, he has the resiliency and the capabilities of, breaking the pocket, rolling out. But he can turn it upfield and run for touchdowns, as we just saw.
So the Boxers will kick off here in the fourth quarter. 8:57 left on the clock. Paul Branco puts it deep. Beautiful kick. Beautiful kick taken at the goal line by the Waltham Hawks receiver, and he's taken down just over the 10-yard line.
Jamal Bryant.
And that was a pro kick right there, folks, you just saw by Paul Branco.
Now, see, he has, being a position player such as a kicker, and here you're going to see the scoring drive. Pete?
5 plays, 70 yards. You see that long streak of yellow towards the end. It's all Jesse Resende with another breakout run.
Excellent run by Jesse. But Paul Branco, as I was stating, being a punter and a kicker, it'd be exciting to see where he goes, and we will definitely try and continue to follow him as far as his accomplishments. Hopefully he is going on for further education.
Actually, Paul is just a kicker, like I said, a special. That's all he does is kick point afters and field goals. And I'm sure there's a number of college recruiters just licking their chops to get at this young man.
Yes.
Because we're definitely going to see him somewhere.
Definitely.
Hopefully we'll see him somewhere in the New England area so we can take a look at him.
I have to think he's one of a very select few football players in Massachusetts where their lone position is kicker. And when a recruiter looks down a roster and sees that he's only a kicker, I'm sure that stands out quite a bit, and hopefully it works out for him.
Yes.
Yes, and he's, such an accurate, we've compared him to Vinatieri because of his accuracy and consistency.
Exactly. Quarterback rolls out, throws deep, has a man, but it's intercepted by Corey Brown.
Flag thrown immediately after the interception. We'll see what that's all about.
And wait for the white cap. Johnny Ray Bonds, he's getting the, he's eavesdropping.
Corey Brown seems to be having a foul.
And Corey Brown, excited. He's out there walking with a swagger.
And actually,
well deserved.
The receiver was open for a while, but because the ball kind of hung up there, it enabled Corey Brown, as you can see on the replay, to position himself and get over there and take it away. Nice hands by Corey Brown.
And Spiros Sianis grabbed the face mask.
So 1st and 10 for the Boxers in Waltham territory. Ball is placed at the 26-yard line of Waltham. And a delayed draw, and it's fumbled.
And it looks like it's Waltham ball. It is.
So that was kind of a funny play. Fumbled by McNeil.
And that was, it wasn't a clean handoff. Ball bounced off his knee, and you're going to see it right here.
You notice there are some second-string players out there for Brockton.
Yeah. And that's when it gets a little sloppy, because Jesse Resende is out of the game.
And that was number 7, the quarterback.
Vaughn Askew.
And the ball might have been handed a little bit below the waist, as you saw in the replay, and that where Aaron really couldn't get a good hold on it. So it's Waltham's ball, and they hand it off to their tailback there, number 24.
And even with a lot of the second stringers in there, you're going to see scattered. You're going to see some starters still. Corey's still in there.
Nate Dellen.
Nate Dellen's still in there. Let's see. Louise Jacobs just came into the game. Latrell Melton's still in there. Ushery's still in there. So I know Brockton wants to leave a goose egg up there on the board for Waltham. So they're going to keep a lot of the starting defenders in there.
Second down, 9 yards to go for the Hawks. And the tailback is tripped up, but he gets about 4 or 5 yards on the carry. And there's a Waltham player down. Hard to see who it is as he's on his back.
It's 70-something. I believe it's 70.
So a timeout. Referee's timeout with 6:44 on the clock. Brockton with a commanding 28-0 lead. Looking to set a high school record of 11 wins and no losses in their regular season. These are the defending Super Bowl champions from last year, as they've carried the torch proudly for the graduating seniors of last year.
And Brian, there you see Brian Sweet, the injured player, walking off the field. And there you see the Super Bowl champion Brockton Boxers defense taking a moment to catch their breath.
Brockton's defense looking to shut out their second opponent in a row.
Last week it was
New Bedford.
New Bedford High.
And that was down in New Bedford.
Yeah, and that was a slow progressing game. Brockton only scored 9 points in the first half.
And a carry there by the Waltham running back, Chicklow.
Late flag. And there you see Chicklow. And he is a senior. I also will mention the Waltham seniors that they'll be losing. We have Chicklow. And I'm probably going to miss some of their key players because, so forgive me, Waltham. Chicklow, Patrick Hogan, Tim Loftus, Bo Hickey, Brian Hanley. Those are some of the key players that they will be losing next year.
So Waltham will be punting with Corey Brown and Nate Dellen deep. He gets off a high but short kick. And it finally goes out of bounds inside the 40-yard line of Waltham. So Brockton will have excellent field position for their offense here late in the fourth quarter, 5:44 on the clock.
And as you see, you get a peek of the stands on the other side. A number of the Waltham faithful have retreated and gone back home so they can get started on their Thanksgiving festivities a little earlier.
They got to put the turkey in the oven a little early today because they're down 20-0 with 5:40 left to go. And Brockton's got their second stringers in. They've got Vaughn Askew in a quarterback. And I think that some of the Waltham faithful maybe called it a day.
And we just want to thank the Waltham fans for coming out here on Thanksgiving Day down here to Brockton and supporting their team. First and 10. And straight ahead goes number 25 for Brockton.
Okay, so they're getting tricky with us. So we got to try and find these players. Jamal Green.
That brings up second down and about 3 yards to go for first. Brockton looking to threatening again.
It looks like Brockton's going to be switching off second and third string quarterbacks here and there. Corey Antunes comes in to handle the field general duties for the Boxers.
Corey's a sophomore. I formation in the backfield for the Boxers. A delayed draw. And for no gain, back to the line of scrimmage. Number 23 for Brockton, Lorenzo Cotton.
And Lorenzo Cotton is also a senior, but he's getting some touches.
Nice to see Lorenzo Cotton in the game. Like Brian said, a senior.
Askew back in for quarterback for Brockton.
So it's 3rd down and about 4 yards to go for the Boxers. Number 7 is Von Askew at quarterback, as Coach Peter Colombo is swinging up. There's a fumble on the play, and Waltham recovers the football. Again, the handoff wasn't crisp, and unfortunately, Brockton loses the football, and Waltham takes over.
And Von Askew was, speaking to Jerome Cotton regarding the handoff. Well, if Von Askew continues to do that, he's not gonna win the starting position.
And the wind has really started to kick up and blowing here as we're looking at the flag down at the south end of the end zone, and it's really blowing. And the ball's handed off to number 22, Taylor. And he gets about 2 yards. 33:48 on the clock. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 8.
And as we mentioned some Waltham fans leaving, the Brockton faithful leaving to get their Thanksgiving festivities done, and I'm sure they'll be going on home a little happier than the Waltham fans, as Brockton's up 28-zip at the moment.
Yeah, turkey actually the sweet potato pie would be just a little bit sweeter. The macaroni and cheese be a little bit cheesier.
Yes.
The gravy a little bit gravier. I don't know.
And there's a handoff there to their main man,
Chicklow.
And he gets a big gain into Brockton territory for a 1st down.
And I think he fell on the ball, knocking the wind out of him. He's a little slow to get up, but he's staying in the game.
And Peter, while we have a chance, we'd like to give thanks to our great crew here giving us these shots and instant replays.
Yeah, we've got a full house here at Brockton Community Access. Up top, I believe we have Mike Tremblay. Also out on cameras, Ron Van Dam, Aaron Tebow. Down the truck, Newbie Rateau, Paul Mandeville, Matt Walker. Did I mention Mark Littlefield? I might have already.
No, you didn't mention Mark Littlefield.
I didn't mention Mark Littlefield. There may be more. We've got a packed house today.
Sam Bath?
Sam Bath is back. I forgot about Sam. How could I forget about Sam? I don't know, but he is back. Out on a camera as well. So.
And don't forget my director, Paul Mandeville.
I said Paul.
Oh, you did, Paul.
I mentioned Paul Mandeville.
There you have it, our Super Bowl.
And Mike Renz. We mentioned Newbie.
Yes, Mike Renz down on audio. The Golden Time Machine bringing us.
Mike, a.k.a. Renzo.
Yes,
Renz.
Mike Renz.
And that's our Brockton Community Access A-team out here on this Thanksgiving morning giving you these great shots. Handoff again to their tailback, number 24. He breaks a tackle. There he goes, down to the 10. Can they catch him? And they just reach him at about the 1-yard line with 1:51 on the clock.
And Waltham is very diligent. They are striving to put some numbers up on the board. They really don't want to. They want some sort of moral victory, I'm sure. Just to know that, they were able to score against Brockton.
Jamal Bryant, the ball carrier, listed at 5'8" on the roster. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he looks about 5'5".
If that's true, yeah, I think they might be.
Yeah, look
embellishing a little bit.
Yeah, trying to intimidate somewhat.
So timeout.
But that's what they do.
I think that's what all high school football teams do.
Referee's going to start it up again. So clock continues to run with about 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this ball game.
Yeah, because Resende's listed at 5'11". He's not 5'11".
And Waltham gets in there for the score. A moral victory there for the Waltham Hawks as they break the goose egg up on the scoreboard.
And notice that Jesse Resende is getting the Gatorade dunk ready, perhaps dunking Coach Peter Colombo along with Nate Dillon. They're getting it ready. They will be dunking him very shortly. They're right up behind him, and he's going to get a little wetter on this already damp morning within the next few seconds. And head coach Peter Colombo gets the Gatorade dunk from Jesse Resende Nate Dellen and company down on the sidelines.
And he smiles. He takes it.
And they're dunking
they
a
get
little
him
more.
again.
And a great shot by our cameraman right there.
I'm sure he thought the first one was funny, but the second one he probably could have did without.
So he gets, deservingly, Peter Colombo gets the Gatorade Drench, celebrating a 11-0 season, a record for high school football here in Massachusetts. And
They're trying for a two-point conversion.
And they get him before he gets out of bounds. And he's hit hard.
Don Hopkins.
And a little bit of trivia that I'll give the answer after the kickoff. Who was the first head coach ever to receive the Gatorade dunk?
In pro football? Or
altogether. Think
first?
about that, and I'll give the answer momentarily.
Peter, I'm impressed that you know that answer.
I believe it was late 80s, early 90s when it happened. I'll give you that hint.
Okay.
And Miles and Brian and the folks at home can brainstorm a little bit.
Okay. Well, you people at home,
Can
go
you give us-
online real quick. See if you can bring it up. Google it.
Can you give us a hint, Peter? College or college, pro, or high school?
Professional.
Professional.
Yes.
Let's see.
Hey, how about the Chicago Bears, Mike Ditka?
My next hint will be it is not Mike Ditka.
Okay. I think it was
Bill Parcells, New York Giants.
Answer coming up after the kickoff, Miles. Stay tuned to Brockton Community Access.
So we got 1:12 left in this Thanksgiving Day football game. Brockton coming out victorious, ending their season at 11-0. Undefeated season for the defending Super Bowl champions of 2004.
Look, Cliff Clavin. We must know. Tell us now.
After the kickoff, Brian. I'm giving the folks at home a little more time to Google it.
And Waltham kicks off. Ball is short, taken by Nate Dellen. Nate Dellen going backwards.
Now going forwards.
Looks upfield, puts on a little speed, and finally taken out of bounds at about the 43-yard line.
I can picture him. Let me, who's he play for now? Oh, what's his name?
Was a coach, right?
Yeah, he's coaching the crybaby. You know, the one that's always crying? Waltham scoring drive. We'll see it now. And you see 5 plays, 71 yards.
All running.
All running plays. And no penalties, no passes.
And for the answer to our trivia question, Miles, you did have it correct the second time around. Bill Parcells was the first head coach to receive the Gatorade dunk.
When he was with the New York Giants.
When he was with the New York Giants.
Giants.
Not when he was with the New England Patriots, and not when he was working at NBC in between the two. That would have been rather odd.
And definitely not when he was with the Dallas Cowboys.
So the handoff is to the tailback. Number 25, Jamar Green.
And 4
And
seconds. That's
3
the game.
seconds left in the football game, and Brockton comes out undefeated for the 2005 season at 11-0 with a 28-6 thrashing of the Waltham Hawks.
And Brockton coming out of the regular season 11-0. Now their main goal is to go into the postseason and come out of that 13-0.
Exactly, and I'm sure Coach Peter Colombo will have his team focused on one game at a time. The first game will be against Marshfield High, and I'm sure Coach Colombo will have his team focused just on Marshfield High and nothing but Marshfield High.
And the cheerleaders so excited, one of them has to yell into our microphone.
Yes, and that is their 708th victory and counting.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. Again, a happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. We look forward to the playoff game up against Marshfield. I'm Miles Jackson with Brian Madden and Peter Zimbour. Good night, everyone.
And that game is Tuesday, 7 o'clock.